Update. Would I be the a-hole for breaking up with my girlfriend for getting a tattoo of her deceased ex's name? Original post. My girlfriend's ex-boyfriend passed away not too long ago. It was sudden and unexpected, and it really hit her hard. When she got the news, she was completely heartbroken. I didn't know the guy personally, but I still went with her to the funeral because I knew it meant a lot to her. I wanted to support her the best I could. She was clearly going through a lot, and I just wanted to be there. For a while after the funeral, she was very quiet and distant. She wasn't really herself. I tried my best to cheer her up. I'd bring her food, watch her favorite movies with her, take her out to places she likes, just anything to lift her spirits. I knew I couldn't fix her pain, but I wanted her to know she wasn't alone. Lately, she's been doing better. She's smiling more, talking more, and she seems a little more like her old self again. I was happy to see her healing. I thought things were slowly getting back to normal between us. Then the other day, I noticed she had her arm wrapped in something like a bandage or cover. I asked her if everything was okay, and she said she was fine, but I could tell it was from a new tattoo. Those wraps are kind of obvious if you've ever seen one before. So I asked her what tattoo she got, thinking maybe it was something random or something meaningful to her in general. It was her ex's name. Just his name, right there on her arm, clear as day. I froze. I didn't know what to say. I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I didn't say anything. I just nodded and kept quiet. But on the inside, I was all over the place. I don't even know if she noticed how I was feeling in that moment. I still don't know exactly how to feel or what to do. I feel a mix of emotions: angry, hurt, confused, even a little jealous. It's like all this time, I thought she was moving on from him, and now this tattoo just pulled me back to the idea that maybe she's still stuck on him. It makes me feel like I'm not enough, or like I'm just a stand-in while she mourns someone else. I understand grief, I really do. I know she loved him once. I even understand that she's sad he's gone, and probably always will be to some degree. But to get his name tattooed on her body, that feels like something deep. That feels like she's holding on to him in a way I didn't expect. It's not just sadness anymore, it feels like something more, and I don't know how I'm supposed to deal with that. I haven't brought it up yet because I honestly don't know how to start the conversation without sounding angry or insecure. But the truth is, I don't know if I can be with someone who still feels so strongly for someone else, especially someone who isn't here anymore. At this point, I feel like the only thing I can do is walk away. I haven't decided yet, but it's what I keep thinking about. I just know that the tattoo changed something, and I don't feel the same about us right now. Now for the top comments before reading the update. It is weird. Have you talked about it at all? I understand that she is grieving, but it is still tattooing your ex's name on your body. Were they close? Does she usually get impulsive tattoos? They were on friendly terms after they broke up. And no, my girlfriend has 4 other tattoos that she's gotten over several years now. Seeing as you both went to the funeral, I'm assuming they were still close? Were they married or had any children together? Nope, no kids or marriage, and I wouldn't say they were super close after the breakup. On friendly terms for sure. Yeah, no kids or married, and she got his name tattooed? That might make me have to bounce then. Sorry, but her grief shouldn't affect your future together. That's tough. You'll know more as time goes on. If looking at her arm pisses you off after a month, then it's something that will build resentment. Playing devil's advocate, should you really be jealous of a dead guy? It's a pickle any way you slice it. Should you really be jealous of a dead guy? That's kind of reductive in my opinion. I mean, can she go around saying, he was the love of my life, I wish I could be with him, and it'd be okay because he's dead, and I shouldn't be jealous of a dead guy? The above commenter only has that position because you're a man. If you were a woman, it would be a very different narrative. Imagine any woman being okay with a guy getting his dead ex's name tattooed on him. Yeah, that wouldn't fly. Now for the update. I broke up with her. It wasn't easy, but I knew it had to be done. I sat her down and told her we needed to talk. I could feel the weight in my chest before I even said the words. She looked at me confused, like she didn't know what was coming, and asked what was wrong. I took a breath and told her straight. I couldn't handle this anymore. I couldn't keep pretending everything was fine when it really wasn't. She asked me what I meant, and I told her it was the tattoo. That was the last straw for me. She looked surprised, like it had never even crossed her mind that it would bother me. She tried to explain, to tell me it wasn't what I thought, that it didn't mean what it looked like. But come on, she got her ex's name permanently on her skin. There's no spinning that into something light. I told her exactly that. I said, you literally got your ex's name tattooed on your body for life. That's not something you do when you're in a relationship with someone else. She apologized. She said she was sorry, that she didn't think about how it would make me feel. She told me she was willing to get it removed, that it wasn't worth losing me over. But I couldn't go back after that. I told her if she wanted to get the tattoo removed, she should do it for her own sake, not for me. Because it wouldn't change anything for me. My mind was already made up. I told her the damage was done. It wasn't just the tattoo itself, it was what it represented. I told her I didn't believe she was truly over her ex. She tried to convince me that she was. She said the tattoo didn't mean she still had feelings, that it was just a way to honor someone who meant a lot to her and who passed away. But I told her that actions speak louder than words. That tattoo said he still held space in her heart that I just didn't feel like I could compete with. I didn't want to spend the rest of our relationship wondering if I was second place to a ghost. It wasn't a shouting match. There was no big fight, just quiet words and a lot of feelings we didn't know what to do with. When it was over, I walked away. I thought I would feel worse. I thought I'd feel angry or broken or something. But instead, I just feel tired. Tired from trying to hold everything together. Tired from the confusion. And tired from feeling like I wasn't really her present, just the guy who happened to be there now. But I also feel relief. I know I did the right thing. It still hurts, but at least I know I stood up for what I need in a relationship. Good man. She had the right to get the tattoo. You had the right to break up with her. Everyone wins. Yes, everyone has the right to do what they want, but should be ready to face any consequence. Not the a-hole. I think the fact that she didn't talk to you about it beforehand is the real issue. It could very well just be a memorial she got out of grief, and I'd say it means less if they were broken up when he passed. Your feelings on this are valid. But I'd say also give her some grace. She's now grieving not just one person she cared deeply for, but two. Dude, you're not the bad guy here. Grief makes people do unpredictable things, sure, but getting a tattoo of her ex's name while in a relationship with you, that's a massive gesture. And it's completely valid that it crossed the line for you. You're allowed to have boundaries, even when someone's going through a tough time. Her loss is real, but so is your hurt. That tattoo probably made you feel like you were suddenly second to someone who, yes, isn't even here anymore, but shouldn't have mattered to her in the first place if alive. That's a heavy thing to carry in a relationship. Will definitely make you think she is doing this out of regret rather than honor. You didn't overreact. You responded to something that felt like a breach of trust or respect. It's okay to walk away from something that no longer feels like it includes you. Grieve the breakup if you need to, okay? Just like she's grieving in her own way. But don't guilt yourself for having a backbone. You did what was right for you, and that matters too. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my girlfriend I don't want to split bills 50-50 anymore? I, 28 male, have been dating my girlfriend, 27 female, for almost 2 years now. From the beginning of our relationship, we agreed that we'd split everything 50-50. Rent, groceries, going out to eat, date nights, all of it. I thought it was a fair setup, especially since we both wanted to keep things equal and independent. Even though I make a lot more money than she does, I work in tech and she's a teacher. It still felt like the right thing to do at the time. But lately, something about it has started to feel off. I've noticed she's been more stressed when it comes to money. Even though I've been picking up some of the extras here and there, like covering vacation costs, paying for concert tickets, or giving bigger gifts on holidays and birthdays, the core expenses like rent and food are always split right down the middle. The problem is, I've come to realize she's clearly struggling. I know for a fact she's been dipping into her savings just to keep up with our shared expenses. She hasn't said anything directly, but it's obvious. She cuts back on small things for herself, hesitates when we make plans that involve money, and I've even seen her pause before buying groceries sometimes. It's hard to watch. So I decided to bring it up and told her I think it might be time to change things a little. I suggested that maybe we shouldn't stick to this exact 50-50 split anymore. Instead, we could do something more balanced, like contributing based on how much each of us earns. That way, she wouldn't have to stretch herself so thin just to pay half of everything. Her reaction, though, wasn't what I expected. She got pretty upset and told me that she didn't want to feel like she was being kept or seen as less independent. She said she doesn't want to rely on me financially because that makes her feel like we're not really equal. I totally understand her wanting to be seen as strong and capable. I respect that a lot. But at the same time, I can't help but feel like real equality should also take into account what our actual situations are. We're a team, and part of being a team is adjusting when one person is carrying more than they can handle. I don't think I'm being controlling or trying to manipulate her. I'm just trying to be fair and responsible. Because to me, it's not fair for someone to risk going broke just to keep up with a system that looks equal, but doesn't feel that way in real life. So now I'm stuck wondering, am I the a-hole for wanting to change the financial setup even though she never asked me to? Or am I just trying to do the right thing? Now for the comments. No a-holes here, I'd say. You're approaching this from a position of kindness and fairness, while she's looking at it from the mindset of independence. This is something you can only resolve through open communication. Try to explain to her that there's nothing shameful about contributing proportionally to income, that it doesn't make her kept or anything like that. Whoever is stronger should do more of the heavy lifting. That's reasonable, isn't it? Also, realistically, paying 50-50 is making her less independent since she is draining her savings to keep up, whereas proportional bill pay would allow her to keep her savings rather than losing it. And if she is struggling to keep up and she wants 50-50, then the other option is to reduce her lifestyle and expenses. Not the a-hole for wanting to change it, but you can't approach this as a one-and-done conversation. Money is one of, if not the #1 most cited reasons for divorce. It's normal to feel uncomfortable when you feel like you aren't paying your fair share. She's struggling with the same feelings you are. Overall, no a-holes here. Keep talking about it. Listen to her concerns and figure out how you two can problem solve together. My practical response to her, as the high earner in my own relationship, is that the point of things being equitable is so the low earner can save as well and be independent, and be able to stand on their own if we were to separate. Exactly. It's not about making them dependent, it's about giving them the same opportunity to save and invest that the higher earner naturally has. You're a good man, OP. Bro found himself a keeper by the sounds of it too. Last story. Am I the a-hole for considering leaving my Latina girlfriend after what I heard her family say? I'm a 29-year-old man. For 2 years, I had a long-distance relationship with Diana, who's 26. She's from South America and is very beautiful. So beautiful she could be a model. I'm from Europe and I'm not very handsome. She moved to my country a few months ago. Diana helps with cooking and cleaning, and she works and contributes money for our expenses, but I let her live in my house for free. I recently went to her country because I was thinking about proposing to her, and her family made comments today that made me uncomfortable. Her aunt told me Diana finally got a foreigner like she wanted. And her other family members continued making comments like that. They always made these comments when she wasn't listening. I even got confused because my Spanish isn't good, but sometimes they even said them in English. Honestly, I feel used, and I already want to return to my country. I'm considering leaving her because I feel like she's using me. Even though she can't get citizenship by marrying me, it would make things easier for her. I don't want to talk to her because I feel pathetic. She's very pretty, and I often wondered why she was dating me. Now I doubt myself even more. I know her family isn't entirely trustworthy because Diana's father cheated on Diana's mother for years. Her father even had a child with his mistress, and her family covered for him. So I don't know how true her words are, but I can't help but feel insecure. I feel humiliated, alone, and I'm in a country I don't know. I don't want to talk about this with my friends and family because I'm ashamed. So I'm just looking for advice. Am I the a-hole? Have you ever thought that the reason she wants a foreigner is that she doesn't like the men from her own culture? I wouldn't date someone from the country I was born. I decided to date a man from a different culture. Oftentimes, women in South American countries don't want their native men because of machismo or infidelity. It's a common thing there, and women are, for the most part, expected to preserve the family unit. She may want to have a loyal and loving man, and figured a foreigner would be best for that. Especially since her father consistently cheated on her mom while her family covered for him. I could see her looking at the men in her family and thinking she wants someone completely different. This is a great point. Another possibility is that they said those things to ruin her life for their own reasons. The red flag was when they are saying these things while she is not around. They are definitely trying to stir up something so you break up with her. She will no longer have a place to stay and will have to go back home and back under their control. You are thinking of proposing to this woman, so I'm hoping you love her, but you're thinking of breaking up with her because of things her family said, without even talking to her first? Honestly, don't marry her. It sounds like you're letting your insecurities dictate your choices. Anyone truly in love with someone would discuss this first to get a clear understanding of what's really going on. If she's been committed to you, has shown she's into you and not just using you, give her the benefit of the doubt. Be an adult and speak to her. Your insecurities are yours to handle. If you can't, just let her go. You would be the a-hole if you just up and leave. Yup, marriage requires communication, so go talk to her and listen to what she says. Ask what they meant. Don't put your own worst spin on it because you're insecure.